Welcome back. In recent months, we've had a number of Democratic candidates who are hoping to replace retiring Republican Ileana Ros-Lehtinen in the 27th Congressional District. This morning, we introduce you to a Republican hopeful, Bruno Barrero. Barrero served 6 years in the State House of Representatives from 1992 to 1998, and for the last 20 years, he has been a Miami-Dade County Commissioner. Commissioner, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, Jim.
So let's just start with the basic question every candidate should be asked. Why are you running for Congress?
Well, I think that over the past 26 years in my political life, I've served well this district. Both districts are in District 27.
Your State House district that you used to serve in and your County Commission district all fall within this.
And the different variations of redistricting have all fallen within House District 27, Congressional District 27. And not only that, but as I was born in Clearwater, Florida, but I was raised in this district. All the houses I've ever lived in since I could crawl have been in District 27. All my jobs, since my part-times when I was in school, my jobs later on in life, have all been within this district. And my schools, except for one that's technically across the street on 87th Avenue, all of them have been within this district.
So you live there.
I feel that I know the district extremely well. As a county commissioner, we're fortunate to have all these jurisdictions, airport, seaport, transit, water and sewer, under one roof, and it's given me a vast experience that I believe that I could offer the voters and representing them in Congress. I think there's a lot of needs in this county. This county is growing extremely fast. This district obviously is at the epicenter of that, having downtown Miami, Miami Beach, Southwest Dade. I think we're growing very rapidly, and I think I'm in a good position to represent them well and
so what
carry
are some
message.
Of the issues that you feel strongly about? What are some of the key issues for you in this race?
Well, obviously, transportation is a key issue for District 27, for South Florida in general. The environment, our Biscayne Bay, our shorelines on Miami Beach, climate control climate change is a huge issue. I think we have to address these issues and do our part.
All right, so let's walk through a couple of them real fast. So you started off by talking about transportation.
Yes.
You've served on the county commission for almost 20 years. Do you think that the transportation situation in Miami-Dade County is better than it was when you started, or is it worse?
It's definitely worse, unfortunately.
So should some of that fall on you as a county commissioner?
No, we've put forth projects to Congress and to the state to expand our metro rail, and I've proffered solutions. Unfortunately, they have not passed in the county commission, but I think I could help in cut that red tape, because we've gone many times to the federal government to bring down those federal dollars to expand our system, and I believe I've learned, unfortunately, the hard lessons of drawing down those dollars, how difficult it is, and I could do it, and I could be a benefit to our congressional delegation to work with Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart and other congressmen to help them cut that red tape and bring those monies down.
Let me ask you a couple of things. You mentioned the climate change. Do you believe in climate change? I just want you believe in climate change.
Definitely.
You accept the science.
Yes.
No questions there.
No questions, but we have to be proactive and making sure that we address and we address it early on and position ourselves and our communities to address this issue.
All right, let's talk about health care. That was something you hadn't mentioned. I'm sure it's on your radar, yes. Though, health care. I just want to know, if you were a member of Congress, would you have voted to repeal Obamacare?
Only if there was a solution to replace it.
Okay, but there wasn't.
And I think that's an issue. I think we have to replace it and
with
put
what?
something.
What would you want to replace it with?
We could do different things, like bring down the dollars to the state level. Each state is different. Each state has very different populations, different demographics, and we could give them the flexibility. There shouldn't be a top-down. There shouldn't be a top-down solution. There should be a bottom-up bottom-up solution.
So you want to get the feds more out of it and give it some more state control?
Yes.
You think Tallahassee will do a better job of managing health care in the state of Florida?
Well, they have a lot more responsibility. Right now, they can only criticize and not take, and not make some decisions. I think sometimes you have to put people's feet to the fire to make decisions. And I think our delegation, and here specifically in South Florida, would step up to the plate and make sure that issues are addressed.
I want to ask you, obviously, we're taping this Friday morning. We had a brief 7-hour or so government shutdown. They passed a budget. One thing that was not resolved in the budget was the issue of Dreamers. We're coming up on a March 5th deadline in which Dreamers are going to fall, more and more Dreamers are going to fall out of status and potentially be deported. What is your position on Dreamers? What do you believe should be done with regard to them?
Well, we should definitely pass a comprehensive immigration reform, including obviously a permanent status for the Dreamers.
Permanent status, but not a path to citizenship?
Yes, with a path to citizenship.
Okay.
Path to citizenship. When I say comprehensive immigration
I just want to make sure. Okay.
We're talking a path to citizenship. Obviously, the bar should be set high, and meet issues. But I think the issue is, these people have been here. They're working citizens or working residents. We have to give them a permanent legal status.
Okay,
I do not accept that we're going to deport them. That's under no circumstance.
So you talk comprehensive. So you accept that the Dreamers should be here, should have a path to citizenship, and that. The other aspects that the president is calling for is an end to what Republicans often call chain migration, which is the ability to have family members, such as parents or siblings, be able to come in. Do you think that should be abolished, chain migration?
Well, when we're talking chain migration, we got to get into the weeds of the actual issues. I think obviously immediate family, parents, children, your wife, your spouse. I think that those should be, be able to be brought in under a good vetting system. But full uncontrolled chain migration, I think that those are different issues.
From a general philosophical standpoint, it seems that a lot of the discussion on immigration, from what we're hearing from the administration, is that there's almost even too much legal immigration. Do you hold that there's too much legal immigration in this country at this point?
No, not at all. I think this country was born with immigration, is stronger because of immigration. Should we, address how many visas we give to every country and all that? I think that those are issues that the administration and a good vetting process should take place, and professionals deal with that. But those are definitely issues that I think can be addressed in a solid, comprehensive way with people sitting around the table and discussing them and not trying to politicize them.
Okay, let's take a break here. We'll come back. We got more issues we can get into. We're talking with hopeful Congressman Bruno Barrero when we come back on Facing South Florida.